Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Weekly Flow. Today, we are going to talk about team building. Team building is an important part of our relationship with real estate in working as a solo agent or bringing other agents on or other administrators on to work with us. And we want to go through kind of the pattern that you take, the steps that you take to make that happen. So what we want to do today is we want to have an understanding for those that are actually on a team or operating on a team, an understanding for those that want to create a team, and for an understanding for those that already have a team. This will help just kind of the organization and the process of your team. So when we are fresh in real estate and get going, one of the things that we at Flow Academy really like to focus on is who, not how. And this is a book that we actually have for our upcoming book club, Who, Not How. And it talks about instead of taking everything on and doing everything yourself, you can actually give it to somebody else to do who can do it maybe even more quickly and better than you can. And you're paying the money to get it done. However, it allows you to do the things that you are best at and good at. And the two most important things is bringing in business and negotiating. So when it's time, when it's right for you to start thinking about creating a team, there are 8 things that we want to look at. And the first step is this the right time? So as we're going through our business and business is picking up and we really have more business than we're able to handle, it's time to think about creating a team. And we want to take you through a process of creating this team and what it's going to look like. And in our estimation, it really is important that you do a lot of groundwork before you start the process. So the first thing is to set goals. What is it that you want your team to look like? And it's really important that you do this thinking the long game. So what I like to do is say, okay, 5 years from now, where do I want to be and what is that going to look like? So I look at 5 years and then I work backwards. Where do I want my GCI to be? How many sales do I want to be making? Where do I want to be? And what resources do I have to make that happen? So questions to consider is, are you ready to be a team leader? When you start creating a team, you really need to be the leader, the CEO of that company and the leader of that team. Are you ready for that? There are a lot of agents that are just really good agents, and they are power players and they do a really good job as an agent, but as a leader, it's not quite the same. So one of the questions that you need to ask yourself is, am I ready to be a leader? Am I ready to be responsible for these people that I bring on my team? And are you starting a team for the right reasons? A lot of people think, hey, if I'm going to be successful, I need to have a team. That's not true. There are a lot of agents that are single agents. They maybe have an assistant and they do more business than a big team could do. So you really need to be starting a team for the right reason. So step number 2 is to get your processes in place. And, our whole goal at Flow Academy is to help you develop and implement processes. That's what we're all about. We want to get you into a place that you have your processes in place. And so there's really no thinking. You get a new buyer, they go through the process. You get a new listing, it goes through the process. You're dealing with clients that have closed, keeping in touch with them. We put together a process for you to be able to do that. Having these processes in place really helps to drive your business. So when you're looking at processes and you're looking at planning for what your business is going to look like, it's a long list of things that you have to think about. You need to think about your business planning and goals. You need to think about what is your vision, purpose, and brand for your team. You need to think about what your marketing and advertising will look like, your database and referral system, buyer process, seller process, transaction management system process, lead generation and follow-up system, again, a process. And you need to have somebody, either you or a bookkeeper, looking at your books. What's your financials, your productivity, your profitability reports, and your forecasts? This is corporate sort of stuff. This is business sort of stuff. But in order to really keep your business going, you need to know, or at least have somebody that knows what all of these things are and how they're working. So step number 3 is hire the right position at the right time. This can be a really tough thing because you might put the cart before the horse or you may not. One thing I will say is when you feel that you're ready to start building your team is probably the time to do it. And once you start bringing people on and you start taking things away from you and giving it to somebody else, even if you don't think that you're quite ready for that place, it can really increase your business because somebody else is taking care of those things. You can focus on the rainmaking and the negotiating. So the first position that you want to consider is an administrator or a business manager. A lot of people think, okay, I need to bring on another agent to help me. I need to bring on a buyer's agent. Actually, the first person that you really want to think about is an administrator or business manager. And this person, we could also call them an assistant, but you really want this person to know your business inside and out. And when it comes to hiring people beyond that, your administrator can be the one that knows your processes, understands them, and can possibly be the one that does the training of the new hire. And that helps you out. What I've heard from a lot of agents when they bring somebody on is that they think they need an assistant, but they haven't done any planning yet to tell them or train them to get them prepared for what is coming next. So if you bring an administrator on that completely knows your business inside and out, the administrator is able to train your new hires and kind of manage them. It puts you into a position that, again, you're able to follow up on rainmaking and negotiating. So the next position is most commonly a buyer agent. And this is somebody that is going to run leads for you. So you have leads, they go to the buyer's agent, and they're the ones that are really going to work on that lead and keep those leads moving. They also will be involved in your CRM because any new leads that come in, you want to make sure that they're updating your CRM and making sure that all of that information is there. This inside sales agent is an interesting concept. And on my former team, I had an inside sales agent and it worked really well. The inside sales agent is somebody who actually goes out and looks and does cold calling and is calling past clients in a way of saying, in a way with past clients of just introducing themselves and letting them know that they're a part of the team. And again, we've said this many times, you don't want to be necessarily asking for business, but what this inside sales agent is able to do is talk to your clients and let them know that you're around in case somebody comes to mind that they might want to send to the team. And the next one is a listing agent. When you get to the point that your listings are exceeding what you can handle, you bring on somebody that helps to handle your listings. So step 4, this is really important, is to really know your team inside and out. So you need to start with yourself, right? You need to look at who you are and how you manage and what you are. And you need to really understand what your goals are with the team, what your strengths are. Do you have any weaknesses? What are the things that you need to focus on or want to focus on? You really need to understand where you are coming from and what your motivation is. So one thing that I have found to be really important when bringing teammates together is to take them through a personality assessment. And you maybe have heard of DISC. DISC is a set of questions that you go through, and it indicates if you have more strengths in dominance, influence, in steadiness and consciousness. And it really helps to kind of help the leader understand where this team player is coming from and how they think. Myers-Briggs, many of us have done that as well. It has to do with if you are more extroverted or introverted, thinking versus judgment, and sensing versus intuition. These, when you understand how somebody works, it really allows you to work with them better. So it's an expense, but I think it's an expense that's really worth it. And once you go through these personality assessments, you share them with everybody on your team, and it really helps each other on the team to know how to work with one another. So this one is really important. And this is a concept that I learned many, many years ago when I was in corporate America. And it's something that really helps to maintain the synergy that you have with your team. So when we say hire slow, fire fast, the idea is really take your time to make sure that the person that you're bringing on the team is a good fit. And using those personality tests can help to identify if this person is going to be a good fit or not. So in order to make sure that this person is well trained and is going to be a good fit, before you even start hiring, put together a really good position description. Think about, and this can be put together over months and over time. And it can actually, for those that don't have a team right now, it could start right now. Think about the things that you do every day and keep lists of, boy, if I had somebody, I would have them do this, or I would have them work on that. And if you just write that down and keep a list of those things, when it's time to really hire somebody, you already have a list started of what that position is going to be all about. When you start sitting down with potential people, let's say our administrator, when you sit down with them to begin with, you're going to be able to give them a piece of paper or send them an email with a list of things that say, these are the things, these are the activities that the administrator needs to be a part of or needs to be proficient at. And that helps the person that's coming in as the potential administrator understanding exactly what it is that they need to do. Once they come into the position, there's no question. They know what they need to do. There will be training on your part. And that's one of the most important things as well, is you need to understand that you will need to help train this person and bring them up to speed on what your processes are and really spend time with them to understand how your business works and how you work. Getting all of those things done is going to really help you have a better employee and somebody who's going to better serve you. And as somebody, when you give them time, is going to feel that they are a part of the team. And that's really important as well. The administrator can also develop training and development programs. So not only do you need to develop those programs for your administrator, but your administrator can do that for new agents coming in as a buyer's agent, as an inside sales agent, or as a listing agent. And you can really put it on the administrator to do that training. And then you, as the team lead, can take that special time to be with them, going out on calls and being with them and doing kind of the hands-on training. So it's also important to have regular team meetings. And what I suggest with people is to have a Monday meeting with a team to talk about what happened this weekend, where are we with our clients, what's going on with open houses, and really touch base with them regarding things that are operational. And then have a Wednesday or a Thursday afternoon meeting that talks about marketing. How do we want to market ourselves? How do we want to sell ourselves, put ourselves out there? And by having those two separate meetings, they're shorter, maybe 30, 40 minutes, and 2 times a week. And you can focus on operations and you can focus on business development. Here's the important thing. If an individual just doesn't seem to be a fit for your team, get rid of them. Because what that's going to do is, if you have other team members, it can really bring the team down if you have somebody that's not a fit. And it's not a bad thing. You just are trying to find somebody that is going to work with the rest of the team, and everybody is going to work well together. So if somebody just is not working out, you can give them the benefit of the doubt for a little bit of time. You can sit down with them and have a meeting with them and saying, here are the things that we expect. Here's where I need to see you go. And if that doesn't happen, then it's time to cut your losses and look for a new person to replace that place. So the important thing is here, that position. So the important thing here is to hire slow and methodically and fire fast. So step number six is to really lead with why. And we've talked about why a lot in the past. Why should be that everything that we're doing. Why are we even in real estate? Some of us are in real estate because we want to be able to provide, education for our kids, or we want to be able to travel more. There's a why that we're doing this. A lot of us, yes, we have passion for real estate. We enjoy real estate, but is that the real why we're doing it? So once we understand the why, we need to understand the why we're creating a team and why we're making that happen. So it's got to be a clear understanding of the team's why, and all of the team members need to embrace that and understand it. And that has to come from the team leader. So the team leader needs to present, this is why we're doing this. And there needs to be a clear understanding of what that is. Next, I think for a really successful team, you need to have a little bit of a common belief system. Everybody needs to be on the same page of why they're doing this, which we've talked about, and have a belief system that makes everybody synchronistic. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but there needs to be a common thread. The next thing is values. It's important to have similar values. Values are important to really understand the way that you work and what your the important things are as you work through things. In a couple of weeks on a Tuesday, when we don't have book club, I'm going to do a class on core values and really determining what your core values are. And it's really surprising when I've taken people through this class before, because their core value that they determine is what is their core value sometimes surprises them. But when you get to that point that you know what it is, it's kind of a game changer. And then next thing is have a common purpose. We're all in this together, and here's why. So why is a really important centerpiece for putting together your team and keeping your team together. The next thing as a team leader is don't forget the little things. So communication is so important. And that's why those team meetings are important. It's important for everybody to feel that they are part of the team. And through communication, you can really make that happen. Go above and beyond. So this one goes a long way. Acknowledge people when they're doing things correctly. Acknowledge them when things are going well. And if something doesn't go well, you need to, in a positive way, or in a not necessarily positive, but in an understandable way, talk to them about correcting that situation, or why did this happen, because that doesn't fit in what we've talked about before. And so it's really important that the communication and going above and beyond with that communication happens. So be proactive. If you see that somebody maybe is falling behind or isn't quite doing something right, be proactive and get in there to help them to get it to where you want it to be. The whole idea of team is that you are working together for success. And as the team leader, it's something that you need to really focus on everybody on your team and what their performance is and how they're doing, and be there if they need help. And then again, detailed information will make the team feel comfortable, supported, and respected. And those three things, feeling comfortable and safe where they're working, feeling supported by not just their team leader, but the team, and respected, is going to make all the difference. And finally, team number 8, don't beat yourself up. So the first thing is hiring and training correctly. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. And knowing that at the onset, that this is going to be a long road to get to this point, is going to help you get through that whole process of hiring and training. And the training piece is so important, because that's one piece that a lot of people forget. The next one is persevere through the hiring cycle. And when I say cycle, I mean that people are going to come and go. And what's going to happen with teammates coming and going is that you're going to be replacing. So it happens a lot of times that you bring on a buyer's agent, maybe somebody who is a little bit newer in the business, and they get to the point that they realize, hey, I've got this down. I'm going to go now and I'm going to work on my own. Now, another way to look at that is, hey, you've become a very valuable buyer's agent. And so I want to maybe change the split with you, or I want to change the compensation. And you're somebody that is worth keeping on my team. So that's something with the hiring cycle that you need to always keep in mind. And constantly be willing to change and grow. So not just you, but your team. As new personalities and new people come onto your team, it's going to change the dynamic, and hopefully for the better. So that's one of those things that you want to change and grow with your team. An administrator is somebody who can really, really change your team, because of what they're running and the way they're running kind of the back office piece of things. So listen to the people that you have on your team, listen to their ideas, their suggestions, and together you and the team will grow. So what are the roadblocks? Well, the roadblocks are, is the team right for you, first of all? And for many of us, having just the team lead and an assistant, or the agent and an assistant, can work really, really well. And again, this idea of who, not how, by outsourcing the things that you don't want to deal with, or don't deal with well, or don't have the time for, that's really a good way to take care of those things without having to manage employees and payrolls and all of those types of things. So I would always suggest starting with who, not how. And then when you get to the point that you want to grow your team, follow the 8 steps And this is a lot of information that we just gave you. And I have put together a document that gives you even more information about these 8 steps. And I'm going to post that with the video on Workplace. So I think that you'll have it in front of you. We went through this rather quickly today, but I hope that helps to kind of understand the process of building a team.